Get ready with me while I tell you about the first date I was supposed to go on tonight, except the guy canceled 20 minutes before because he said that I'm a liar.
This woman tried to catfish this man. He found out about it, and she got dumped.
I'm after this guy on Hinge. Everything was going really well. He planned a really nice dinner date for tonight that I was really excited about. And we were just texting a little bit, before the date, as you do. And he said, by the way, I really like your profile picture. I'm excited to hear the story behind it. And my profile picture is a photo of me in Greece. I have never been to Greece, and it's an AI generated photo. So I thought about it, and then I admitted that it was AI generated. And he canceled the date and told me that I'm a liar. Is that not ridiculous? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I think that is unhinged behavior.
This is almost quite literally the definition of catfishing. Y'all get mad when a man says he's 6 feet, but then he actually ends up being 5'10". 2 inches difference. And y'all want to call the man a liar.
The men being prescribed the red pill, what they're hearing often is, let's blame women that they are hypergamous. Let's blame women that they sometimes want a man that's good looking. Let's blame women that they want someone who makes a lot of money. Let's blame women for liking alpha males and not liking me. That's something that I see so often with what people take the red pill descriptors as, and they internalize it towards maybe their own low self-esteem or their own inability to attract women. And instead of working on improving themselves to become attractive to women, they point the finger and they say, how could women be like this? They should like me. And now they're mad at women's preferences.
Man in the comments here says, maybe at first I was mad since I was destroyed in court by a feminist and a misandrist court system. But now, like most red pill types, I have boundaries that I follow. And if she's not into that, then I move on. The issue is there are reasonable boundaries that men are setting, and feminists call it controlling. But she gets to have whatever boundaries and expectations that she wants. And if you don't follow those, then all of a sudden you're misogynistic. I don't blame women. I blame feminism for brainwashing these women into thinking delusion is reality. Pretty well stated.
There's a gentleman who said to a lady, if you ever catch me cheating, dump me. Because if I catch you, I will dump you. A few months later, he cheats. She forgives him, so he cheats a few more times after that. Out of frustration and anger, she ends up chatting to somebody else. The guy ends up seeing the chats. Hi, how are you? Good morning, beautiful. Having a nice day, blah, blah, blah. Then the guy ends up dumping the girl and says, no, but you're entertaining other men. She tried to explain until she turned blue. No, but that was not technically cheating. It's because of you. The guy said, did I not say to you, if you ever catch me cheating, dump me, because if I catch you, I will. And you deciding to forgive me was your choice. You decided that. Now I'm making my choice. I don't want a cheater, said the guy.
A woman in the comments said, yeah, the instructions were clear. She chose to ignore them. Another woman said men know their worth and they always put themselves first.
A third of men, 33%, a little over a third of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. So I've got a question for the men. So my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done.
I'm seeing more and more of these videos, and honestly, it makes me sad because guys have told women why. We've made it very clear why we're walking away. And we're walking away in droves, and it's only going to get worse because you're not hearing why we're walking away. It's very simple. Don't read between the lines. Hear these words. There is absolutely no benefit anymore to being in a relationship with a woman for a man. None. Zero. Zilch. Especially when you consider the risk compared to any potential reward. Roughly 55% of marriages end in divorce and the guy loses everything. Add into it all the relationships where they weren't married and the guy lost access to his kids and had to pay mountains of child support and so on. When you really look at it, there's less than a 1 in 4 chance of having a successful relationship. Would you risk?
Don the contractor says we want peace, loyalty, respect, and love. We get none of that today. Craig Campbell said the reward is not worth the effort. Gerald PAMT said, I have a $1.3 million house. I own 3 cars. I have $1 million in stocks. I make $225,000 yearly. I work hard for all I have, and I'm not risking it to a woman. I'm looking at that $1.3 million house. He's going to have to give up at least one of those cars. He's going to have to split that house. He's going to have to sell it and split the cash on that. I have $1 million in stocks. He's going to have to cash that out, split that, or give her half of the shares. I don't know how it really works there. That's my ignorance. And then the $225 yearly, if he has children, or if he's in a state where they have to pay alimony, that's going to her. I worked hard for all of it, and I'm not risking it. Exactly. Risk management, man, is just business.
Unpopular opinion, but hypergamy is not all that it's cracked up to be. Or at least how the social media influencers that sell you these courses and these workshops try to make it out to be. Because let's be real. This is coming from a person who has dated affluent men, and I've dated not so affluent men. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting financial security and stability, right? Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But in many cases, not that you can't have the man of your dreams, it's going to come with sacrifice. And a lot of times it's going to be your emotional needs, right? Yes, you can meet Big Papa that spoils you, wines and dines you, all that goodness, pays your bills. But what about your emotional needs, right? You decide in your mind, you make it up that you're okay with him, having other women. You're cool with his, quarterly trips to those passport bro countries, with his friends. You pretend to be cool with his ED. Y'all know what that is, because it really don't be working like that after a certain age. For the love of money, that's cool. But at the end of the day, you know how you really feel on the inside. Oh, and I forgot to mention, because they do everything for you, they feel like it's okay to disrespect you and that you must be at their begging call, okay? So to prevent this dynamic, so to speak, be a woman who already has her own financial future secured. Don't see hypergamy as an opportunity for a man to come to save you and rescue you. Because anyone who has the ability to feed you also has the ability to starve you. But that's just my opinion. I'm open to you guys' thoughts in the comments.
Well, these men have options, and so they don't have to sit around and listen to foolishness. I think that's actually the phrase that you're looking for. I think that's actually the idea that you're going for, that you're trying to explore. A lot of these ladies think that I saw in one clip a woman saying, women in the comments were talking about how they cuss men out and they do it to a grown man's face. And she was stunned that so many women did this and advocated for doing this. They think that you're going to go out here and do whatever to a man, treat a man a certain way, any kind of way, and a man's not going to do anything about it. Oh yeah, you deserve it. Oh yeah, go ahead. Absolutely not. Y'all can do them simps that way. You're not going to get in my face and be acting a fool. Get out my house.
No, posting this, I'm going to get some crazy comments, but it's just what I think, just what I feel. I think leading women to believe that they're less valuable in the dating market as they get older, and if they have children, single moms, is the biggest collective gaslighting I've ever seen. What I think is that as you get older, you're better, you're wiser, you're smarter. At least if you heal, right? And a mom, let alone a single mom, right? First of all, why are we moms at all? We all got one. It's kind of how you're here on this planet. So don't know what the heck you're doing with that one. But mothers should be worshipped, protected. They do something that is so sacred and important and is literally, again, why we're all here, right? And it's to be a mom, let alone a single mom, the things that you have to tap into within yourself. I'm not a single mom, but women that I know who are moms and are single moms, they're some of the most wise, powerful, capable women that I've ever seen that are able to just like have such a precision with their time and energy, like throughout their day-to-day, like their day-to-day life. And it's like, I'm playing small. And like having that energy, that embodiment as your life partner, you could only be so lucky. We could all only be so lucky. And I just think that if older women, single moms, it's really just about knowing that. Because when you don't know that, you date like shit, right? And it's like your boundaries suck. And you feel insecure when you shouldn't. You shouldn't feel insecure. You shouldn't. And that's really the only problem, right? Is believing that there's something wrong with you. And so you date accordingly. You live your life accordingly. You treat yourself like accordingly. You allow other people to treat you accordingly. And that's the only actual problem here, is the belief. And it's not even true. So, just had to rant on this as the thunder above me agrees. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, in particular if you're a woman. I already know I'm gonna get some like weird comments from like some men, but it's fine. I just needed to put this out there because more people need to hear it.
Nick Jacobs says this: I have respect for single moms. I've dated them, but you're looking at it only from a woman's perspective, as most modern women do. If the relationship goes south, the man won't see the kids again, even if he's grown attached to them. It's pouring a lot of time, money, and emotion into a situation that you lose entirely. This doesn't happen when they're our kids. And once again, like he said, a lot of ladies don't understand this. Men in this day and age, in this society, in this era, on this dating scene, are looking at return on investment, risk management. How much do I put out? What am I going to get? Most people, I would venture to say, do. But for some reason, these modern women are so delusional as to think that men are just going to throw caution to the wind and whatever comes, just let it come. If I lose money, then at least it was a great experience. Are you crazy?
Exactly. Nothing wrong with being average. The problem is being average and thinking that you deserve more than what you're willing to put out. Shoot for the stars. Go for what you can't get. You might surprise yourself. But shooting for the stars and not willing to do what you need to do to get to the stars is crazy. And then because you didn't reach the stars, you mad at the stars and saying that the stars is just too difficult to get to when you didn't want to change or do nothing. But you know what you can reach? The clouds, because you a cloud. And then you complain to the clouds that the stars is just too difficult. You sitting right there with the clouds, but you could be interacting with the clouds. And you're so bitter that you can't get to the stars that you treat the clouds poorly. Hopefully somebody get what I'm trying to say. And guess what? The clouds that you can reach are not half bad. They're still beautiful. But you can't appreciate the clouds because you're too busy looking at something else. You thought you was going to go up there and chill with the stars and still be a cloud. Can't.
Some of these women think that they're stars. Some of these women think that they're stars, and they're craters. They're meteors, burning and ruining men's lives.
I regret leaving my ex for my husband. I have been married for 3.5 years. What? And our relationship is crumbling. And it's... I really regret leaving my ex. He was so good to me. He was an amazing guy, and he would have done literally anything for me. I was stupid, young, dumb, broke, and I broke up with him because I wanted to drink and he didn't want me to. We were together for 5 years, and me and my husband can't even speak to each other without arguing. It's literally like a ticking time bomb. And the thing that really gets me is that my ex would have done literally anything. Like, I know from the bottom of my heart, he would have done anything and everything to keep me and to keep me happy. And my husband just doesn't care. Like, my ex never lied to me, not even once. And my husband is a chronic liar. And I honestly just feel like this is payback and this is my karma for breaking his heart. But at the same time, it's just like, ugh, like, what do I do?
You guys interested in reading some comments? I miss my ex-husband. I should have never left my ex, but my mom died. And I went into a spiral and ruined everything, so I know how you feel. Another woman said, don't we all regret that? I sometimes regret it too. I had a good guy in the past is what she means. And now I have someone who doesn't even show me affection or anything. The grass. You thought it was going to be greener. It looks terrible.
I can't be friends with these new modern day women because I'm not about to sit here and be delusional with you. I'll just be out here just letting each other be stuck in Delulu land. Don't nobody have the courage to be like, you sound stupid as right now. I'm too honest and too blunt. That's why I can't hang out with y'all. You come to me crying because this man done did you wrong. He done dogged you out. He been cheating and some more stuff. You talking about how you just can't believe he did that to you. Really? You talking about the dude who just got out of jail with the 5 baby mamas and no job? You can't believe he did you wrong. You coming to me talking about you would rather be by yourself than be with a man who wants to go 50-50. Girl, your rent is $1,800 and somebody was willing to pay $900 of that and you said no? I just think a man should pay all the bills. Okay, so if he does that, that means you gonna cook and clean, right? I ain't cooking and cleaning for no man who's not my husband. Didn't you fuck on the first night? So you don't mind giving him coochie before he's your husband, but a sandwich is just out of the question. Every time I put on a cute outfit and want to go out, he telling me I need to change clothes. He's just insecure. Girl, your whole ass is showing. Even I don't want to go out in public with you like that. These men just trifling. They don't know how to treat a woman. Aren't you talking to like 3 different dudes right now? Like, what are you talking about? So y'all be too scared to call your friends out on stupid shit like that because you know she gonna get mad. So y'all just agree and feed into the set each other up for failure. I can't do that.
Why does everything I do have to be an act? Like, I genuinely have feelings for you, and I think you're like the nicest guy ever.
I've laid out the analysis.
Like, you're such a good guy. Like, any girl would like die to date you. Like, I just am more vocal about it. Like, I think you're such a sweet guy. Like, and you're like you're so sweet to me. Even though when like I'm annoying, like you're like so cute about it. Like, I feel like we would fit together really well. But I mean, since you want to be like stubborn and like not give me a chance,
send
it's
the
fine.
nuke. The nuke's been sent.
Like, can you like give me a reason like why? Like, I literally quit. Like, I don't know why like you won't like give me a chance. Like, you won't even let me like take you out on a date. Like, you won't even like try it. Like, you have some like stubbornness in your head, and you're like, I won't go on a date with Layla because I don't like Layla. It's like, just like try it.
My tweet, which it was a bit coarse.
But I'm not a whore anymore. I don't do
were.
it anymore. But I literally said I would stop being a whore for you, and I literally stopped. And you still like are like, no, not good enough.
Listen, you're an attractive woman, but the fact that you've done
it was a hiccup.
That's not what he wants. That's not what a lot of dudes want. And they keep on telling y'all that, and y'all keep on having these hiccups like a man didn't tell you he wouldn't want that.
Okay, tell me the truth. What is it about single moms that makes you guys run for the freaking...
So I guess we'll just leave this one up to me and I'll lay it out. Now, I'm saying this out of all due respect, but this is the harsh reality to it. See, men are a lot more conscious nowadays. Men see a lot of things. And we're becoming a lot more privy as to the games that's going on. Now, this might hurt some feelings, but please understand, this is coming from a real place. So, ladies, the truth is, why men run so far away whenever they do hear that you are a single mother, listen, they'll smash, yeah. But are they going to commit to you? Probably not, right? And the reason why is because the guys who most women want the guy who's good looking, who's smart, who's funny, who's successful, who can take care of them, all this other stuff. But guess what? Those dudes have options, and those dudes don't want a woman with baggage. They don't want it. And the truth be told, being a stepfather is a thankless job. It's a thankless job. And men nowadays are not so quick to just jump on board to want to be the stepdaddy. They're not. They're not willing to pay for the mistakes that you've made. Not to mention, these guys also, knowing that you have a child, they know that they're going to have to take a back seat and they're going to have to be second in line. That child always comes first. So when you're sitting here and you're expecting to have a guy that does X, Y, and Z, that guy's not going to sit there and put up with being second place. He's always going to want to be first. And there's nothing wrong with ladies, you putting your child first. You should put your child first. But that's going to close other doors for you naturally. Naturally, it's going to close other doors for you because men who have these things to offer and who do have options are not going to sit there and play stepdad where it's a thankless job, not to mention that guy's never going to even be number one. So why would he do it? Why? Not to mention, if you're in your 40s and you're a single mom and all this stuff, what does that say? What does that say? That shows men, especially smart guys who've been around the block, that shows men that you probably didn't want to stick it out in your old relationship, which means that you're not there to actually stick things out. You're there just to be happy. That's not what marriage is, right? Marriage used to be until death do us part. Now it's until I get bored. Okay? So men know that now. They're like, okay, if this girl's not even sitting there willing to make it work with her baby father, what makes me think she's going to try to work it out with me? Right? And these guys don't want the baggage. They don't want a woman who's older. They don't like, these are things that you guys have to understand. When you have kids and you get divorced and the more men you date, your value decreases. It drops. And the ability of you wanting and getting the man that you once had or once could get is gone, and it's out the door. And the truth is, the guys that single mothers are with are not the guys that they would want to be with. Those are the guys that they end up with because that's the guy that's willing to take the being second in line, willing to take the of all the drama that you've had in your life and the poor decisions that you've made. So please, I'm not coming at you in any way, shape, or form. I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful, but I do need you guys to understand this is why men don't want to with older women. This is why men don't want to with women that are divorced. This is why men don't want to with women who have kids. This is why. And now you're seeing men that are in their late 30s, early 40s that aren't settling down because we know that it's all now. It's all, and the women that are our age are all ran through. They all have problems. They're all abused. Do you think men want that? Men don't want that kind of drama, dude. You're supposed to be peace in a man's life. You think he's going to go sign up for more chaos? No.
Yo, bitch, a fuck. No matter how much you protect and provide for her, yo, bitch, fuck. No matter how much you spend time with her kids, even if they ain't yours, yo, bitch, fuck. You can be ready to put your life on the line for her and her seed. Yo, bitch, fuck. You can invest in her, empower her, and pour into her. Yo, bitch, still fuck. You can check every box that women want from men. Ambitious, smart, goal-oriented, God-fearing, financially stable, successful, respected. Yo, bitch. No matter if you upgrade her lifestyle, upgrade her mentality, upgrade her vibrations, yo, fuck. Think about that every time you're thinking about saving her when she ain't a bind. Think about that every time that you're thinking about signing something. Yo, bitch. And it won't be a next got more going on than you, or got more money than you, or got more motion than you, or got more knowledge than you. It'll be a seller out for $100. Yo, bitch, fuck. She'll throw away the whole family, the whole household, the whole relationship for attention. For the validation of another person. Because in her mind, she's empty. And she needs to get filled up with affirmations from various places because she's missing something. Make no mistake, brother, there's nothing wrong with you. You him. That's why she chose you to sell the dreams to. The dreams of her being a virtuous woman and being a future wife and being a future mother to your kids. Don't get you. And she will look you dead in your eye and tell you she didn't. And go to the grave with it. You ain't lying.
Okay, so hear me out. I think that maturing is realizing when you're in a relationship, there's always going to be a mirror that's going to be held up to you. Literally, physically, there's going to be a mirror that person is going to hold up. And I think for some, that's going to be a really stark reality. I know it was for me, right? Because who holding up a mirror to who? Because I'm perfect. Not perfect, but what? I've done the work. I've got it together. No. When you're in a relationship, they're going to hold up a mirror to you. And through that mirror, you are going to learn that this vision or version of yourself that you thought that you were, you may not be. I know it was a really stark reality for me in my relationship just because I just used to think men are always the problem, right? And 9 times out of 10, they are the problem. But I think that I always used to be like, no, men are the issue. It's men. But being in a relationship, I've also come to realize like, dang, they always are not the problem. Sometimes you are the problem. And that was a very stark reality for me. Huge stark reality for me. I've been having the mirror held up. And you combine their feedback of how you're showing up, how you're being perceived, how you're making them feel. You bring that to therapy, and then you have your therapist kind of like saying, okay, let's talk about that. Like, she's not letting me off the hook. She's diving into this feedback. You combine those two and you're like, what do I do with this information? Do I stay in my ego and just say, no, I don't care what nobody says, I'm me, I'm okay, accept me for who I am, woo, woo. Or do I want to become a better version of myself? Not only for myself, but for my partner. Which one is it, right? Because both can't exist, at least in a relationship. At least if you want to be better, this can't exist. I can't stay in the ego. And for me, it's hard to hear criticism sometimes about myself. Sometimes I could take it, but sometimes I kind of get on the defense because I'm like, no, what? No, let me justify that. Sometimes you don't need to justify. Sometimes you just have to receive and acknowledge and assess if you want to do better and be better. That's really all that you can do if you want to be better. And if you want to be in a somewhat healthy relationship, that's all you can do. Obviously, I know it's circumstances in place that could shift all of this. I get all that. But I'm just saying, foundationally, in a relationship, a mirror is going to be constantly held up to you. And I really have been realizing that lately because a mirror has been held up to me. And for so long, I've been able to say, no, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you. And now it's kind of coming back to me with like, no, it's actually you. And here are examples. Here's evidence. And now I'm put in a position to say, okay, do I want to change for you? Or do I want to be better for you? Or do I want to stay in my ego and basically blame shift it back to you, right? Like, it's some real hard conversations that have to happen when this mirror comes out. And I think all in all, it's really just been teaching me that sometimes you can be the problem. I know, girls, it's hard for us to finally like get to a place of taking accountability, but sometimes we can be the problem. We can. It's hard to admit that, but we can.
And I'm happy that there are women in the comments saying, you know what? I am the problem. One woman says, realizing I was the problem was very triggering, but a needed reality. Another woman says, the mirror is actually triggering, but sit back. No one is attacking you. They are just mirroring things you need to work on. It's okay. What a refreshing thing to hear coming from women.
Can we normalize letting know that we get like sometimes you really gotta let them know, like, you're not getting like.
But do them actually want you is the real question. Or the other question is, do they only really want what's in your legs? I hate when females bring up the same topic about, oh, I get in this, that, and the third. Listen, your main goal is to get kept. These that you claim that want you only wants what's between your legs. And once they get that, they don't want nothing to do with you. So is that really a flex? I don't think so.
Where are they at? Where are they? Why are you guys not married? Y'all are just wasting your time. Men keep on telling you at some point in time, it's going to run out. This nonsense, the way you live, it's not going to be sustainable.
This is the female delusion epidemic in one video. You have women that are 0s to 4s, get tons of free validation from Punjabi Indians that are literally in a village, and now they think they're a supermodel. And so you have all this inflated delusion in the marketplace of women that are not very attractive, but think they are, demanding very high standards that are outside of their actual range. And so now you have these guys that think they have to be simps to get with any women, and that's the entire market in a nutshell.
This man said 0s to 4s. Crazy statement.
Because of women like you. I disagree with you. Men are always dating. Even when they're in marriages and relationships, they're always on the prowl. You're either a girl that they date or a girl that they smash, and I don't care to change your mind, and I'm sure you don't care to change my mind. Men and women have different standards, and this comment just gives me like pick Misha, Barbara the Builder type, and men need women like that out in the world, and that's cool. Happy Friday. Be well. I can't believe I forgot a necklace.
Wanda Anderson, a woman, for clarification, in the comments said, here's my opinion, you can take it or leave it, but personally I think women have way too high standards. Literally. I mean, we're literally getting into gold digger standards. Every woman that I have heard, especially in the Me Too movement, said that they can do everything and anything that a man can do. But yet, I don't see where all the women are in the workforce. I don't see them being truck drivers. I don't see them going down the roads. When I drive to work every single day, I don't see them. She's going in. I don't see them on construction sites. Not a single female out there working on highways. Bravo, Wanda. Bravo.
Fellas, I think I figured it out. You guys are dating us too long. If you are not interested in a committed relationship, if you've seen 1 to 3 red flags, if you are turned off, if you do not want to be married, then why are you still in the relationship or even dating? See, here's the thing. You all lead relationships and we lead intimacy, but intimacy should not be more important than your sanity. When you all end it early, it saves our heart and it saves our feelings. It also saves your heart and it saves money, but overall it saves everybody's energy. But here's the most important part of when you end it. You gotta be able to tell us. This is when we need to hear it, but your delivery has to be on point because you are going to tell the truth, but a woman cannot jump into her emotions because she's fixated on how you're delivering that to her. Meaning, if it's harsh, if you're angry and pissed, that is going to come out in her, and then we aren't going to solve anything because now we have an argument and now she can't even hear what you're saying. Once we hear this from y'all, this allows women to grow. And once we are growing, this allows relationships to get stronger, families to be built, and then communities to get greater. I truly believe this is how we break the cycle. I don't know about you guys, but I refuse to give up on relationships between men and women because it's not lost yet. We just got to be able to work on it together and come together to do that. Because if we keep going how we're going, we're never going to procreate. And that is just not how God wanted us to do it. I want you guys to hear me loud and clear. This is your sign. We need you.
Dude, in the comments. Lord Diaries 49. Lord Diaries 49 said, give it up, darling. I'm applying for my passport this week.